Found the barrel tonight. The barrel, we'll have some bacon tonight. I love bacon. Let's go down to the Piggly Wiggly and get some bacon. Come on, Charles. Let's eat bacon.
Hi, I'm Charles Stier. This is CherryValleyMusic.com, and we're here to talk about the fundamentals of guitar. In this video lesson, it's called Fingers Part 1, and the first thing that every beginning guitarist is going to learn in the very first second is pain. It is hard to press down the strings of a guitar because our tips of our fingers are just beautiful and sensitive, and we've got to learn to develop a layer of callus on this. So no matter what kind of guitar you're starting out with, your fingertips are going to hurt, and we've just got to work our way through that. So there'll be more on that later about how to develop tough calluses both on the tips of the fingers and on the inside of the fingers. But for now, let's just talk about the fingertips. We're going to move in a little bit closer and so we can see exactly what we're doing here. The first thing we're going to talk about are fingernails. Now, as you can see, here's my fingernails, and you can see how short they're cut. That's about as long, boy or girl, man or woman, as you can have on your left hand for the length of the fingernail. The reason for that is that the pad of the finger, here as you can see these indentations here, the pad of the finger is what's going to be depressing the string down to the fret so that we can get a clean, clear sound. If your fingernail, I've left these long on my right hand, if your fingernails are even this long or this long, you're going to have problems, because what will happen is when you try and put your finger there, the fingernail will actually prevent the guitar from being played, and you're going to get a real tinny buzz like that. So the first thing, cut your fingernails. Next, let's talk about where the fingers should be in relationship to the frets. Now, this is what's called the nut of the guitar, and as you can see, that's where the string passes, crosses over, and that's what actually creates the length of the string. When you put your finger on any fret of the guitar, like here, the string is now being bent over this metal bar which runs across the guitar, which is called the fret. So what you're actually doing is decreasing the string length by where your finger depresses the finger. And it too has to operate as efficiently as this. If your finger is on that fret, you're either going to get nothing, or a buzz, or some terrible sound like that. If you're too far back here, the same thing is going to happen no matter how hard you press. If you're in the middle of the fret, you're going to be okay. Or if you're up closer to the fret but not on it, that's where, in general, the best sound is going to be. So when we're playing the guitar, we're trying to get our fingers in the center or to the center forward of the frets so that we can depress the strings so that they act correctly mechanically as the string crosses over the fret. As you can see, these are forward towards the fret, and in many ways angled back like that, but not like this. Now, the next part to really consider when you're playing the guitar is that the fingers have to act either like a bridge, like for example in your G chord, where in your first two notes both have to be depressing the fingers, but this one has got to be arched up in such a way that your fifth string, the A string, that the B will be sounding. If this finger is too flat, that's what you're going to get. And as all of us as beginning guitarists, you're going to hear stuff like this all the time. And what that is a combination of either being on the fret, blocking a string from another string, maybe having a fingernail that's too long, but you're going to hear a combination of buzzes and grunts and groans and grinds and squeaks, and all that can be corrected by a perfect hand position. So when we're learning the guitar, the thing to do when you're playing chords is to play them very slowly to make sure that we're actually hearing every string clearly and smoothly. If you just go, oh, that's okay, but here's what it really is. So the thing to do is to slow down. Think about your hand position, again using your elbow and your wrist in order to bring your hand around. Using your elbow and your wrist in order to bring your hand around so that you can clearly articulate every sound on the guitar. The last part about fingers on the guitar is that, as opposed to many other instruments, besides having this beautiful curve all the time, the guitar later on, especially for bar chords, is required to either lay flat across the string like that, maybe even to depress itself and create what we call a broken finger like that. And in some cases you have certain ones that are depressed, ones that are arched, and ones that have to just be straight down. So all of this really is in conjunction with relaxation, what we've learned earlier in some of the lessons about hand position, left, shoulder, arm, wrist, palm of the hand construction, and we'll talk more about this in the next lesson. So that's it for Fingers Part 1. I'm Charles, no pain, no gain, Fingers Stier here at cherryvalleymusic.com. Remember, you're not going to get this well without a little bit of pain, but don't hurt yourself. See you next time.